welcome back to healing old wounds. In this episode, I found myself standing between independence and loneliness, trying to love while still learning what love even meant. My past shadowed every step, but I was determined to move forward, even if I had to do it alone. My parents and I rented a 3-bedroom home. For the first time, I had my own room. I loved the fact that I could sleep in peace. I could get up and use the bathroom when I needed to. I didn't have to pretend to be asleep. I didn't have to be silent or breathe quietly under covers. I didn't have to be invisible in my own room. I was 24 years old and found a job at a convenience store, and a minimum wage kind of job, brainless, but it gave me time away from the house and maybe a chance to make connections outside of the few people I had known all my life. A couple of months later, I got transferred to a busier store a few miles away to help out. I liked my co-workers, a few college-aged young adults who enjoyed helping me get stronger in English. A few days in, I noticed a young man parking his motorcycle by the front door. My co-worker pointed at him and told me his name. She said he worked there too, that he stopped by on his days off just to say hello or lend a hand. I thought that was nice, though. I wondered why he didn't spend his day off with friends. Then I thought maybe he was a lost soul like me. When he came in, my co-worker introduced us. He was polite, respectful, and different from all the men I had known in my hometown. Men who were mostly family or relatives. We worked together often, and I got to know him a little. Hard-working, kind, responsible, patient, positive, who enjoyed drinking. He asked me out. I didn't know what that meant at first until my co-worker explained it. I didn't mind befriending him, but I didn't. How two people of opposite gender can be friends. I never had a male friend. My friends back home were all girls. For the first time I felt seen, not as someone's daughter, sister, or someone's burden, but as a woman who is trying desperately to find her way in life, to find her own ground, but the little 6 years old still well and alive inside her. She keeps reminding her how men hurt her, used her, scared her, how trust always came with a price, and how safety could disappear without a warning. This grown woman understood very well that happiness never stayed, and kindness can be misleading. We met quietly after my shift, shared coffee, small talk, laughter that didn't feel forced. He spoke to me like my thoughts mattered, like my silence had value. It was strange, unfamiliar, to be treated with gentleness instead of threats. I remembered covering my nervousness with laughter. On the outside, I looked fine, even fun. But on the inside, I was a ticking bomb ready to explode. A few months passed, yet still, every time his hand brushed mine, my heart raced for reasons he couldn't understand. The frightened girl inside me was watching, warning, remembering. I wanted to trust him, but trust was a language I had never been taught. I wanted to love, but I didn't know what love was supposed to feel like. Safety or danger in disguise. He would tell me stories about his family, his dreams, his mistakes. I listened, learning that people could be broken and still be kind, lost and still good. For a while I believed maybe I could be that too. Looking back now, I realized how fragile I was. like a bird testing its wings, uncertain if the air would hold. I wasn't ready for what came next, but I had to learn. Healing didn't come to me gently. It came through risk, confusion, and the quiet courage to keep trying even when I didn't know how to begin. The secrets I carried, the ones that made me who I became, that formed my thoughts and shaped my feelings, were still alive, still in control of my life. Buried, but breathing. They made me afraid, overly sensitive, and full of doubt and shame. My self-worth was fragile. I questioned everyone's intentions, saw the bad before the good. I searched for flaws, and when I found them, I used them as excuses to keep people away. I didn't forgive or forget easily. My skin was thin. Words cut deep and stayed. If someone hurt me, I wanted to hurt them more. It was the only way I knew to protect myself. I took life too seriously, always on guard, determined never again to let any man take advantage of me. Commitment meant nothing to me, at least not in the way others understood it. Shallow relationships were my safety net. If I didn't let anyone close, I couldn't be hurt again. It was easier to play the part of the strong, independent woman than to admit how broken I still was inside. But deep down, I longed for something real, for someone who could look past my defences and still choose to stay. I just didn't believe that kind of love existed for me, not after everything that had already been taken. So I stayed guarded, watching life move forward, pretending to be fine, when in truth I was still living under the shadow of those old wounds I never learned to name. My family attacked me for befriending a man who didn't look like us, from a different country, believed in a different religion, ate food that was forbidden to us and didn't know our language or culture. They put the fear of God in me. I liked his family. His parents were divorced. His mom was in a relationship. His siblings became my friends. They were living their lives in control of their future, something very unfamiliar to me. Looking back now, we both expressed love for each other. But how could I truly give what I never learned to feel? What was love between two strangers, when all I had known from my own flesh and blood was control, fear and survival? I mistook comfort for love, attention for safety, and silence for peace. Every kind word felt suspicious, every promise temporary. I wanted to believe, but the broken parts of me never stopped whispering warnings. So I gave what I could. The surface kind of love, the one that looked right from the outside but carried a wall inside. I smiled. I cared. I showed affection, but I didn't let my guard down. Always afraid of trusting. He tried to understand me, to reach through the layers I'd built, but my silence spoke louder than my words. I truly wanted to love him the way he loved me, to give him the love he deserved, yet part of me was always waiting for the moment he'd hurt me. Marriage was not on my mind. It was never one of my life dreams. I wanted independence, to become a flight attendant, or go to college and become a movie producer. I wanted to travel the world, visit every country, experience different culture, and learn different languages. But those were only dreams. They will never come true. We were engaged 4 months later. I believed it was my idea, and he just went along with it. Maybe I was chasing a sense of belonging, trying to prove to myself that I was finally wanted, that someone chose me. My family ignored my engagement, treated it like it was not a big deal. They weren't at my engagement party. It was just another day. No one helped me plan my wedding. Not even my mother or sister. I remembered going shopping for my wedding dress all by myself. It was so sad. Yet I kept trying to justify their absence. Maybe they didn't know how it was done in this country, or maybe they didn't think it mattered. Either way, I felt completely alone. No support from family, and I had no friends. I was young, but I still remembered when my sister got married. She didn't just have everything to make her wedding special. She had everyone's support and blessing, even though she didn't want to marry that man.